Welcome to Insights, marking World Photography Day. I have this wonderful conversation lined up for you listeners. So we have Mr. Lenny Emmanuel with me here. He is a Pakka Hyderabadi, to put it in the Hyderabadi terms. I welcome you to our studio, sir.
Thank you very much for inviting me over.
We begin this interview. I'll just say a few things, not the whole story, but then let us see how best I can give the insights into your life and your work. So Mr. Lenny Emmanuel is a fourth generation photographer from Hyderabad, meaning his father, grandfather and great-grandfather were very much part of Hyderabad, and they have also photographed people and the places in Hyderabad, and they have very well documented them. So you can also get to see a glimpse of all these photographs in their website. But for now, we have a wonderful conversation lined up, and this conversation cannot have a better beginning without talking about your father, grandfather and great-grandfather. What kind of work did they do, sir?
Photography has been a part of our family. We believe that photography has been with us and it will continue to be with us. Now, grandfather was a photographer to the Nizam of Hyderabad, and he was doing a lot of photography for him. And my father took photography to a different legacy, where he was stationed at Nizam Sagar for the project which was being built by the Nizam to bring water to Hyderabad.
Okay.
And at that point of time, he was there for the 20 long years. While he was doing that, he was also assigned to do work for the Osmania University, where he used to do the photography for the Osmania University. If you get down to the Osmania University, you will see the photograph taken of the foundation stone which my dad had taken.
Okay.
And he has been there. So that is what a legacy of his. And besides that, our family was also into doing a lot of paintings for the Nizam, which was not known or not told to others. Rather, we used to do a lot of paintings which are done for the people who used to supply the work to the Nizam. And you can still see them. But fortunately or unfortunately, we cannot disclose our name because we do not have any name which is written at the end of the day at the photograph. I mean, photography, techniques of painting was a part of our family.
Okay. So, most of these paintings or photographs were gifted to the royalty as souvenirs or, for display. So do you have any of them with you documented?
No, we do not have any documentation because these were all the property of the people who had given it to us. Like we do, it's like a turnkey job which was done for people.
Okay. So do you have the brushes, the kind of colors they used? Are you aware of them?
Yes, we are aware of what type of work was done. The paints that they used were the same paints like what was used, like the tube paints, like Vincent Newton. That's what the famous paints in those days. And their brushes were not used. They were cotton stubs.
Okay. Cotton
stubs that were used as brushes. And cotton stubs is very difficult because every time you take a little paint on that, then again you can't use it again.
Yeah. So number of cotton stubs were used to make one painting.
Yes.
And if you use it for one color, you cannot use it again
for the
next color. Yeah.
No, never.
And there must be different shapes and sizes.
Different shapes, different sizes, different. The graduation of colors would be totally different. It will not be the same colors because if you need a graduated color for what has been used.
Correct.
Because if you're getting a shade of blue, it will be from dark blue to light blue. Or yellow, it will be from light yellow to dark yellow. So the gradation of color would be there.
Wow. So, sir, coming to photography, your family has been into this profession for more than 100 years.
Yes, we have been there for more than 100 years.
And you've been witness to it for more than 70 years?
Yes. No, I have been witness for it for about 60 years.
60
plus years.
60 plus years. So, I'm sure you must be a witness to how the technique has changed and evolved through years.
Yes, I do agree. Because you see the techniques what we use in the yesteryears where we used the analog cameras. Analog camera is nothing but negative films. And negative films are like only when you shoot or take an image, till you come back and process it in your dark room, you will not know what your results are. And we had to be picture perfect, meaning to say, if we shot one picture, we had to be perfect because you do not know what the result is. Now, supposing we were shooting a photograph for a person. We will shoot a photograph, that means our lighting had to be perfect. Our background had to be perfect. The exposure has to be perfect. The posture has to be perfect.
Correct.
So we have to get all these things in line to see that we get one perfect picture.
Because there is no digital evidence once
No, there's no digital. And today you have the digital era where you can just, you don't like it, you just erase it.
So now if a photographer is capturing an image, there will be technically 30 to 40 pictures and you pick the perfect one.
Yes.
But back then you had that challenge of, capturing the perfect moment at perfect lighting and perfect exposure.
Yeah. Now, coming to that part of it, I would say it this way. Now, when we are shooting a picture, like, I have been specialized in industrial photography. So my area of work is I shoot anything from a needle to an aircraft. So when I'm shooting this, we have to get so many things into line. All the perspectives have to be in line. Meaning to say, my background has to be perfect. My foreground has to be perfect. My exposure has to be perfect. My subject has to be perfect. And whether I'm being able to convey the same thing to the world as my product is this. My company is this. We can't play the fool around because in a negative film is just we have to get all these little things into focus. If I put it in a very simple way, we used to think of we have to think about a small little thing known as ball pen. Ball pen for you is nothing but you write. But ball pen to us, in the terminology of photography, means a lot.
What would you focus on if you want to?
See, if we take it this way, ball pen, B-A-L-P-E-N. First, ball, B stands for background. Because if my background is perfect, clear, beautiful, my image on that will look better. A is the angle. What my angle is being set at. Angle, whether my angle is perfect, is reflecting perfect things or not. If my angle of the subject, one wrong move and it can give a very bad picture to the entire world. L is the most important thing is lighting.
Okay.
You see, we photographers look at light from morning sunrise to sunset. Without light, I cannot do photography. P is the posture of how the subject is. And the word N is never, never near. Meaning to say, we are close to it, but we have to try and get that 100%. Meaning to say, we have to try and see that we get 100%, which we normally don't. And this, we don't see it in today's modern photography.
Okay.
Modern
so getting
photography.
all these
Because you see,
right.
what is happening is, we photographers are just shooting maybe 1,000 pictures to give you one. Even till today, when we shoot, my son and myself, when we are shooting anything on an industrial floor, we only shoot 3 images. One is the correct exposure, one is the underexposure, and one is overexposure. We do not go in for the 4th exposure. Reason, you do not call yourself professional if you shoot the 4th exposure. We only believe that 1, 2, 3, 4, that's it. 1, 2, 3, not the 4th. 4th one, in case you want to keep it for yourself, but never the 4th. Because you should be perfect when you shoot. That means your lighting has been intact. Your posture has been intact. So whatever comes in that, it has to be perfect, picture perfect. Because the photograph is going to last you for 1,000 years,
correct.
A lifetime.
Sir, we have seen, like in terms of mobile phones, if I have to say, We have seen first generation, second generation. In some brands, there are 14, 15, 16, 17 generations. So how many generations of cameras have you seen, and how many generations of cameras have you worked with?
See, the cameras that I worked with, I can tell you, I started my photography with a box camera.
Okay.
When Daddy was doing photography, I used to sit down and watch him work. I watched him work. And when we watched him work, we started learning what it was. Because I was not satisfied with what my dad was doing or what my brother was doing and what my assistants were doing. Because my genre of work was I wanted to go beyond what we are doing in Hyderabad. Because Hyderabad is a place you have a lot of talent. And I wanted to go beyond that. So what happened was, as I was doing my work, I came across a friend of mine who happened to know Mr. Mithar Bedi.
Okay.
He was a legacy by himself in industrial photography. So by then I was doing a little bit of industrial work, but I was not perfect. I was doing, but I was not perfect. But we wanted to know what are the techniques in it. Whether it is a camera, whether it is lenses, whether the lighting. You know, I was making a mistake, but I wanted to perfect that subject. But fortunately, I came across Ajay. I told him, Ajay, I want to, since your dad knows Mithar Bedi, I want to go and work with him. He turned around and told me, Lenny, I have one condition. I said, what? I want you to teach me darkroom work. I said, done. I said, anytime you walk in, I am prepared to teach you. So when I went to Bombay, I was with Mithar for 6 months. I wanted to learn what was the actual, thing of how we used to bring the pictures out alive. And we are talking about black and white days. We are not talking about color. So when I went there, he started seeing me work. I said, okay, that's enough. I didn't stay for 6 months as planned. I stayed there for 3 months, came back to Hyderabad. The thing what we found out was the equipment what he was using was something excellent.
Okay.
Well, we couldn't afford it because we didn't have that sort of money. But anyway, all said and done, we managed to get one. That was the beginning of everything.
Wow.
We never turned back.
You became an industrial photographer by choice. There was no pressure of carrying forward the family legacy.
No, industrial photography, you see, mind you, photography subject is a very vast subject. Like you have advertising, you have architecture. Each letter has got a different segment. And the photography as such has, now industry comes under advertising, industry comes under corporate work. So, all these things are correlated. And what we have done is, I think we have done beyond what people have done in Hyderabad.
Yes.
Like in the sense, we used to shoot for Hindustan Aeronautics.
Wow.
Yeah. And in that, there was an engine room.
This is how long?
Did about 15 years ago.
15 years ago. Okay.
And there was an engine room where we were supposed to shoot. They showed me the engine room and said, listen, you got to shoot this engine room when the engine is at fire. Oh. It's on a test bed. They wanted it to work, show us working. The man operating outside, the engine inside, how would you do it? We didn't have the techniques. But all said and done, we did it. And that was the best moment. You could, like, you have achieved something without anything. Only thing all depend on how your skill, your brain works.
You will have to envision how do you want to see your picture.
No, but trouble is, the thickness of the wall is 15 feet. My light cannot go inside the engine room.
Okay.
Like if I'm having an engine there in that corner, my light will bounce back because of the reflection of the glass. The glass size is only 8 inches by 15 inches.
Okay.
But how will I get pictures inside?
So how did you crack this challenge?
It was a very simple thing. We made our own connections to our lights. We set up our lights inside.
Okay.
We have made our own triggers, sitting down in the factory itself. And this was done at Koraput.
Okay.
We did it.
Wow.
That's what I said. We don't have the word no in our dictionary. We always say yes, we can do it.
So in your early days of photography, as a child, I'm sure you must have picked up a camera from your father's studio and tried. How did you start in your early days?
So what happened was photography, how it came in was, I joined photography not by choice. I joined photography because the way I seen my dad work, my assistant's work, my brother work, so that brought me into photography. Once I joined in, then we started learning to do things better. Another thing, what we found was my very first picture what I took was, I took photographs of a friend's wedding.
Okay.
Without the knowledge of my father. And my friend brought the roll. I said, I'll take and give it to you. You come and give it to my father, asking him to process it. Because, first time using a camera, we do not know how good we are. Then we brought the thing, we shot the photograph. Fortunately, all the 12 images, all the 12 images came well.
Wow.
And that is how I started photography there. Then after slowly we started working, but I started learning more on the darkroom techniques. Wow. Because darkroom was a very, very important thing for us. Because processing a film, then afterwards printing them was another problem. We used to do, it was not a problem, we enjoyed it. I think we were the only one people in twin cities of Hyderabad, Secunderabad, then I would say Andhra. We used to make black and white pictures as big as 10 feet by 20 feet.
Oh.
Where it was not done anywhere in Hyderabad.
So, right now, after clicking a picture, there is a lot of post-production work that goes on. The filters, the editing and all. So in your darkroom, did you have all these options to modify?
This is a nice question that you have asked me. What you're asking me is filters, editing. We never had it in black and white.
Okay.
Never. As a matter of fact, we are on, because after digital has come in, you have this.
Okay.
Correction, then filters. Because when you talk about the present cameras, and we'll go to the yesteryear's cameras. When we were shooting, from morning sunrise to sunset, we were taught about certain calculation of light. If sunrise comes, you have this light. Sun, when it is halfway through, it is this. It had a color temperature. Okay? Whereas, we had to be careful when we were shooting it. We were using what? For black and white, we were using just filters pertaining to black and white. But when it came to color, we were using a few filters pertaining to color. But at the end of the day, when we were using filters for black and white, it was there either you enhance the cloud, enhance the sky. These are the only few filters that we had. Whereas when it came to color, you had now, if I'm shooting a photograph under tube light, it had a certain filter. We used to use a filter known as an FLD filter. It will convert the tube light. The tube light has got a green color light. This FLD filter will convert this to daylight. That means 5500K. So the filters used to convert that. These are only few filters that we had then.
So the pictures of Nizams, the royalty, the ladies in the royalty that we now see.
Yeah.
So they're all real.
They're all real.
So no exaggeration.
No, absolutely no exaggeration. And mind you, these were all, we never had these small cameras. They were the cameras where you used to put a cloth around your head.
Okay.
And the ones what at Nizam Sagar, what Dad used to take, he used to use the 10 by 12 cameras. They were known as field cameras, and they had a 10 inches by 12 inches film.
Okay.
You had to load each one and take it out.
So 10 inches by 12 inches film is loaded
Film
into a camera.
was loaded
so
onto
the camera is an entirely different camera.
It's
not
a different camera.
usually...
It's not, today's camera is something what you carry, a small little pocket little one. And for that also we say it's too heavy. It's too, whereas the cameras that were carried by 10 inches by 12 inches or 15 inches by 12 inches.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
As a matter of fact, I still have the cameras that were used by my dad. And
these films, when you develop them, they come to any size you want to, or there will be a bigger size photographs only?
No. These films were of this one set size. Okay. And this set size, you only used to make contact sheets.
Okay.
If I take, this is my size of the film. I put the paper on this and then I expose it to light. Then I get my image.
Okay. So it's exactly that size. Do you have all these cameras at your place?
I do have a few of them.
Wow. I might sometime have a privilege to see those
Please come.
cameras.
It will be a pleasure to show to you. And as a matter of fact, till today, we still use black and white. We expose some in black and white. We process in black and white.
Okay.
It is not for anything. We are doing it because we love the subject.
I understand. Sir, now coming to my favorite topic, that is our city, Hyderabad. So, sir, when you look back at your earliest photographs of Hyderabad, what do they tell you about the city? What do you really like about that Hyderabad?
Well, that when you're talking about Hyderabad, Hyderabad is, I think, one of the finest city that I've ever seen. Because even till today, we are missing out on a lot of what we had in the yesteryears. In the yesteryears, you could just, it was an open space, you could just drive, go where you want. There was no traffic. There was no pollution. Absolutely nothing. You could go and stand, shoot the way you want and come back. And if you see some of the monuments that we have got in Hyderabad, some which are still existing today, they are one of the finest architecture that it has.
Did you get to capture those monuments?
Yeah, some of them
rock
have.
landscape.
Yes, I did. No, just let's take the Osmani University. It's such a beautiful building.
Yes.
It's a stone structure. It's an excellent building. And you also have, let's go to Mahala Kawai. That's in your Maulali. Have you seen the architecture?
Beautiful.
It is a beautiful building, but now slowly it's deteriorating. I don't know. We had published one set of pictures in the Deccan Chronicle, and every Friday I used to contribute a picture, photographs to the Deccan Chronicle known as Lens Eye. And I used to contribute photographs of all the monuments that are there.
In Hyderabad.
In Hyderabad. But when I stopped, I used to get calls saying, why have you stopped?
How many photographs you would have contributed?
I have contributed approximately about 56 pictures for 1 year. And not only the monuments, even the churches, mosque. Because Hyderabad is a versatile place.
Yes. And if you talk about churches that are, more than 200 years old.
Yes, it is.
That are in Hyderabad. Completely British architecture, the cisterns and all.
As a matter of fact, if you just take a few churches, we'll just take St. John's Church, which is in Secunderabad. It's such a beautiful construction.
Yes.
From out, it doesn't look that. But if you go in, it's something wonderful. You have the same thing in the Trinity Church, where the Queen of England had come.
Wow.
She had come and celebrated her wedding anniversary year. We had an opportunity of taking her photographs then.
Superb.
So we took her photographs too. And we also, like you have in one more church very close there, is known as the Garrison Church.
Garrison Wesley Church.
To look at it is small.
It
but
looks very
it's
humble
excellent,
from the outside.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's like, you're like as if you're in a foreign land. But you have it in India, you have it in Hyderabad, you have it in Trimilgiri.
Even the landscape, gives It's like an embellishment on the church. It is very beautiful to look at.
Then you have got George's Grammars. You've got St. Mary's Church. You've got St. Mary's Basilica now. Then you have got, besides that, you have got St. Joseph's Cathedral. All these constructions are something way beyond. And this, if you take it today, they will say it's architectural photography. But each image can talk to you. You go to a mosque, I can show you the picture what we have taken. Probably the world has seen Hyderabad, not seen Hyderabad the way I would see it. But the picture that I've taken of Hyderabad, where I wanted the world to know that we have got two beautiful monuments. That is the Makkah Masjid and the Charminar, which nobody has seen it together. And I had an opportunity of shooting this.
From which place did you shoot this picture? That I want to know.
This picture was shot from the hospital, Unani Hospital.
Unani Hospital, okay.
It so happened that I went there for the first time to take photographs for my own collection. And when I went there, I was standing on a parapet wall. The parapet wall was risky standing there. Anyway, I stood there. I was taking the picture. Then I said, when we are seeing one monument, why can't we show the world with the other monument which is world known? Charminar was known across the globe. But nobody knew that we had these two big monuments here.
Sir, how far are they? How many kilometers apart are these two monuments?
No, not kilometers. It will be approximately 800 to 900 yards apart from each other. Or let's say 1,000 yards apart. But getting both the images together, not difficult for me.
So
I shot a panorama.
Yeah.
The panorama has total 16 images. And we shot that in just about 8 seconds because we wanted to see the people who are standing in that. Because when they do the namaz, they bend down, and when they stand hardly for 8 seconds. So we had to take all those pictures within that short period of time.
So that's a great moment also to capture because they were offering their Friday prayers.
Friday
before
namaz,
they bow
last Friday
down.
prayer. Yes, you're right.
So, sir, if you want to introduce someone to Hyderabad, would you like to introduce them with this picture?
Why not? This is the best that we can give it to anybody because that's the best gift that we can give it to them.
True. And I think you must have captured some more than 100 pictures of Hyderabad.
Yes.
The monuments, the lakes, the rocks, the people of Hyderabad.
The people of Hyderabad.
So,
Hyderabad is one fantastic place in the sense you have people who are there and the people who are here in Hyderabad, the whole Muslims, the Nizamis, they are one set of lovely people.
So, the beauty of Hyderabad is it's a mixture of Anglican architecture and the Nizami architecture and also a little bit of Kakatiya's architecture.
Yes.
And everything coming, so flawlessly blending together.
Yes.
And people like you, me and most of our listeners who call Hyderabad their home are absolutely proud of this.
No, to be very honest, I'll tell you one, I'm proud to be a Hyderabadi. Because you will never get a place like Hyderabad anywhere. People say, yes, it's a little dirty. It's okay, forget about it. Every city, everywhere you have your own plus.
I think it's about the people.
People. If we people want to keep it clean, we can keep it clean. But I'll tell you one thing. The way you take the High Court building, such a beautiful building. I didn't get an opportunity of photographing that. I want to do that. That's a beautiful building.
True.
The Osmania General Hospital. Have you seen the architecture inside?
It's very beautiful.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately, the architecture is falling out of its place, but it's a very beautiful piece of architecture.
Yes, it is. Simple, we were talking about Osmania University. Just have a look at the university. You go in, you can photograph that building as many times you go in. Because when my dad took the first foundation stone. We were asked to give an exhibition at the university. So fortunately, we gave, the exhibition consists of 3 generations. That is my father's, myself, what I took, and the third was my son's.
Wow.
So all the 3 generations we had, and the 100-year celebration, we celebrated. We put in all the photographs, compiled all the photographs and put it there. And you can say that each pillar is totally different.
Oh, each pillar is different.
In the sense, when you photograph it, it is different.
Again, your ball pen comes into play.
Everything comes into play. No, when we are shooting, we always think of, the first thing is ball pen. That is the basic principle of photography. And I don't think any of my photographers know this language.
I'm sure.
Because it has not been taught to them. I don't blame them. And when color photography came in, mind you, I do not know how to process a film. Right? Then I met one old man, while talking casually, he turned around and told me, "Why is it that you're not doing for color?" I told him, "Sir, nobody is prepared to teach me color." But when I told him, "These are the equipment I've got," the first thing he told me, "Bring it, I'll teach you." After he taught me, I never looked back. I think again back to square one, we were the only people who used to make color murals of 10 feet, 20 feet.
Wow.
We did all types of work related to photography.
Sir, you have seen your father, grandfather, the photograph people and Hyderabad, and you have also photographed Hyderabad for decades. So what changes in the city have been most striking from behind the camera?
See, the changes behind the camera is like we find the verticals and horizontals in Hyderabad have changed. The neighbors who were there, they are all gone, faded away. Whether they are faded for the good or bad, we don't know. But in Twin Cities, that has been faded away. But what is happening is in Hyderabad, old monuments which are there, I really wish they can still maintain that. Because that is a treasure trove to Hyderabad. We are having modern buildings.
Once upon a time, the identity of Hyderabad.
Once upon a time, the identity of Hyderabad, you'll be surprised. You know what it was? It was the rocks of Hyderabad.
Yes.
I still have one or two photographers who have told me in Bombay, when we used to go for our meetings, "Lenny, I want to come and shoot the rocks of Hyderabad."
Wow.
And they were stalwarts. I'm talking about stalwarts. They wanted to shoot Hyderabad. But we don't find one rock. The rocks that are there is going away. Besides that, now the question that you'd asked me, we have lost a lot of this. We are only having skyscraper buildings. So what is happening is we are trying to adapt ourselves to the modern generation. The young people who are there have forgotten the whole Hyderabad.
So, sir, coming back to the technology part of it.
Yes.
In an age when almost everyone has a camera in their pocket, what separates a photograph from a meaningful photograph?
You asked me a tough question, and you're good. I'm happy. The reason is, you see, all the photographers who are there, who are doing photography today, they're all doing a good job with the modern techniques that they've got. Because the digital camera does give you a lot of options to play around with, unlike what you're doing with analog cameras. But my sincere advice is, if anybody wants to know what photography is, they should know what the roots of photography is. The foundation of the building is firm only when your foundation is firm. But today the foundation is not there when it comes to photography. We have forgotten to put our hands in the chemicals and work. When you put your hands in the chemicals and work and take out a film in the darkroom, it gives you a lot of joy. Now, when it comes to photography, with all the modern cameras, yes, they have the modern cameras, but they can still utilize it in the right perspective. In the sense, the cameras that are there, they are much more advanced than the cameras that we used. I would say we are misusing it because we have to be perfect in what we are doing. You got to see to, very simple, see to your background, which is clear. See your foreground, which is it's okay. Because in front of you, when you have a lot of dirt, and then you take a photograph, your photograph is going to be bad because of the dirt in front. Or your photograph is dirty at the back, your photograph is going to be bad. No, every photographer can spend a little few minutes to visualize what they are shooting, and they'll be able to do a better job. Of course, we old-timers, we have a different perspective of working. But we believe one thing: when we shoot, it should be one picture and it should be a perfect picture. And when you say, it's like this. When you say that you're giving a picture, the picture should be one shot, perfect shot, and it should convey all the messages that you have.
So I also wanted to ask you, what according to you is a photography? If it is documenting reality, creating art, preserving memory, or telling a story. But I figured out it is a mix of everything.
It is a mix of everything. Without anything you can't. Because you see, I'll tell you one thing. You remember those people, masons, who have plastered the wall. We are just walking away by it. By them plastering the wall, the buildings are standing today. It is God who has helped them. A photographer is not just an ordinary man. He's a man who's giving an image to the world.
True.
He is talking about your city to the world.
So now let us flip the role and see if Hyderabad could look back at you through all the photographs you would have taken of this city.
Yeah.
And what do you think she would say to you?
Well, I wish they can remember me, that's it. Because...
Great job, Lenny.
Because
Thank
we
you.
need, we want Hyderabad to be remembered always.
Yes.
So what I can contribute is only my images. And which people should always remember that, yes, there was one person who gave images to Hyderabad.
Wow.
That's the only thing.
So before we close this interview, it is very tough to teach a skill in one interview. But if I would like to ask you to give a one-liner advice to an aspiring photographer who want to take up photography seriously, what would that be?
One line I would say is, if anybody who wants to do photography, let him do it from his heart, not the mind. Because mind is such, it wanders. Heart does not wander. It will give you perfectly what you want.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Lenny Emmanuel, for joining us. And you must also promise me that you will keep coming, because there is a lot that I would like to give to my listeners from you.
Why not? Why not? It'll be I'll tell you one thing. We have always been, one part of our lives have been, we have always been giving things to people. And sharing knowledge to people is very, very important. What is happening is, like when I wanted to learn, there were no people who wanted to teach me. I'm talking about 1968, 67. Nobody wanted to teach us. We had to knock door to door. Nobody taught us. But fortunately or unfortunately, there were a few angels who came across and taught us. I'm very grateful and thankful to those lovely people. I don't think without them I would have been here. Starting from my father, my brother, my assistants who worked with us.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.